Right, steady on. We're going to be talking right now about weight loss and keeping fit, which many of us kind of shy away from, but it's got to be done. So we thought we'd get an expert in the studio. Personal trainer Jon Le Tocq is here. Good morning to you.
Morning.
Now, you look very fit, has to be said. How much do you exercise?
At the moment, I do about 6 or 7 hours a week. Combination of strength training, Muay Thai, kickboxing, and some sprints at the track. So it's not excessive.
No, so that's about an hour a day, or just slightly less. Yeah. Right, okay. So you're a personal trainer. What does that involve?
Well, I tend to call myself more a health and performance coach. I've gone down the route of done kind of basic gym instructor, personal trainer. But the problem is these days, personal trainer is almost getting a bad name. And we wanted to...
Why is that?
I think it's just because a lot of people are taking the wrong approach. It's become very much who can work the client the hardest, who can come up with the hardest session, who can beast their client into the ground. And we found that actually to get people results, we had to take a more individual approach, and we call it health and performance coaching. So it's kind of building your health first, and then once you've built your health, you're going to lose fat anyway, you're going to build lean muscle, you're going to look better. And if we can improve your performance on any aspect, whether it's running or cycling or anything else, then again, you're going to make it further improvements from there. So it's get the health right, get the performance right, whatever that means to you, and you're going to get the body as a result. Okay,
so how much work is involved in one of your sessions? And say an absolute beginner who doesn't really exercise very much in there.
I think, if you're a virgin to this, we're not going to just throw you into the hardest session possible. What we'll do is, if it's an individual coming for personal training, as you call it, we're going to get you in for a session, spend 1 hour, look at your stress levels, your exercise history, medical history, all that kind of thing, look at your movement and your posture, and then from there, we can actually design a session that suits you. We're not just going to get you to walk in and go, well, here's the program we've given to the last 50 people that came in, crack on with it on your own.
So it's all tailored?
Yeah, definitely.
To individuals?
That's the personal training. We also do our fitness camps, which are more of a group setting. Yeah. So it's a little bit more difficult in that sense. But again, we give, we'll say, right, there's the push-up that you're going to do. Beginners, you're going to do your push-ups on your knees. More advanced people might even get up to doing explosive push-ups. But again, if we say you're doing that for 60 seconds, everybody can do it at once, but at a different level, so that's how we manage it.
That seems fair enough. How long does it take for somebody who doesn't exercise much to get fit then? To get fitter and start losing weight?
How long's a piece of string, really? It really depends how much people are going to commit to it. If you come in and say to me, I want to lose 5 stone, but I've only got an hour a week to exercise, then we're going to say, well, sorry, we're not going to get you the same results as the person who committed to 3 hours and was following the nutrition and following our mindsets, protocols and everything else.
Is it a case of both? If you want to lose weight, do you have to watch what you eat and drink as well as exercise?
Yeah, definitely. I've always said if I had one option, I'd take you to a nutritionist before I take you to someone who's just going to give you exercise. Obviously, we give you both because they complement each other, but if you're not eating properly, you're not putting the right fuels in your body, you're going to be really lethargic, you're not going to recover, so the exercise is going to be pretty substandard anyway.
Oh, right, okay. So what's good food to eat then for somebody wanting to get fitter and lose weight?
Well, we tend to take a process of eliminating all the things that a lot of people are allergic to, and then the obvious stuff like getting rid of processed foods, reducing or eliminating dairy. Obviously, alcohol is a bit of a touchy subject. We're not going to say to you can never drink alcohol, but it's a case of, do it at the right times. Maybe have a couple of drinks a week, but not go stupid with it. But in terms of what you want...
It's full of calories, isn't it, alcohol?
Yeah, the thing with alcohol is very empty calories as well. Your body doesn't know what to do with it. It can't store it, it can't build anything with it. So it's used up for energy straight away, which sounds good, but if you're putting loads of alcohol in your system, you're never going to be burning the food you're eating. So one of the worst things you can do is go out for a really fatty, carb-heavy meal and a load of drinks at the same time, because your body just can't handle it.
Which is what lots of people do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
included.
Yeah, we do it at times. Yeah, we do it at times as well. So I think some people think us trainers are angels, but it's a case of doing it at the right times. Have a cheat meal a week. But if you're doing it every night because you're stressed after a day at work, then you haven't got a hope, really.
No, absolutely. Okay, so it's nutrition's important.
Yeah.
And then what do you work on next? Is it sort of aerobic exercise to get the heart and lungs working?
Well, this is another subject where a lot of people don't really understand what is aerobic exercise. If I say do aerobic exercise, most people will go out and, I need to do a 5-mile run, or I need to go and ride my bike around the island. Actually, your body doesn't know what you're actually doing. All it knows is your heart's working, cardiovascular system's getting stronger, oxygen's pumping around the body. So what we do is we use what we call metabolic conditioning, where we're using weight training, but in a way that also kind of hits the cardio aspect. So kind of short rest breaks, you're using weights or your own body weight, so you get everything done at the same time. And the beauty of that is, and this is where I don't want to knock Zumba or anything like that, but when you're going and doing aerobics, your metabolic rate slows down very soon after the exercise session, even if you've burned quite a few calories in between during the session. But with what we do, it actually elevates your metabolic rate between sessions as well. So if you've done a heavy session this morning, had a hard workout, now you'd still be burning calories kind of sat at your desk.
How does that work then?
It's basically a recovery process. You've put your body in what we call an oxygen debt. You know, if you work so hard, the body's trying to get you back to that kind of status quo, that kind of comfortable point. So your metabolic rate is elevated, so that you're kind of drawing in more oxygen, you're taking in the calories, you're taking in the nutrients, and it's getting pumped into the muscles to recover. So your body's still working whilst you're technically sat doing nothing.
Oh, right, and also presumably building that muscle strength as well, and repairing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and
that's where we come back to nutrition. If you're doing a hard workout and then thinking, oh, well, I've done a good exercise session, I'll go and eat a pizza as a reward, you'll find that the next day and the day after you're more lethargic because you're not putting enough protein in, not getting the nutrients to fight the antioxidants and everything else. So again, you're going to struggle. That's where a lot of people go wrong. They wonder why that second week of exercise, everything's sore, everything hurts, they feel worse. It's because you're not giving it the nutrients to support the higher level of exercise.
So you're very much looking at exercise and weight loss from a holistic point of view, the whole body, the whole machine.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we're going to talk about this fat loss day in a second, but we were talking about, I'm sure you're familiar with Bohemian Rhapsody, the way the song works, it's a flow, you know, you move from one to the next and everything kind of works together. It's not kind of jump to the chorus, come back, jump to the chorus, come back, which is what a lot of people do, and they constantly go around in circles. So it is that flow from one thing to the next, and it all kind of supports the next stage.
Okay, well, we'll take a break for some music, and then we'll talk about this sort of tryout day that you've got coming up on Saturday. And that girl, we're talking with personal fitness trainer Jon Le Tocq. We're talking about burning fat and gaining muscle and getting generally healthier. And there's a Discovery Day for Fat Loss Solutions Discovery Day. We've got a bit of time to pluck up courage because it's in October, isn't it? Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's on Saturday the 13th of October. Basically, we were looking at how we could encourage people to come and kind of try out and find out what we do. It's kind of, I guess, letting the sausage out of the box in terms of all of our systems that we use for personal training camps and why they work. And again, going back to why things work and things don't, some people just want that magic potion that's just kind of kaboom, it works, and things don't work like that.
Really.
Exactly. So we're looking at, right, here's how to get your mindset right. Once you've got your mindset right, you find it much easier to stick to nutrition. Once the nutrition's right, we can then talk about exercise, and that's how the day works. We're going to flow from one to the next. So by the time you leave, you can see a path as to how you can actually start moving forward, rather than just looking for that magic program again.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. So it's training the mind as well. How do you sort of train the mind, get the mindset right? Without giving too many secrets away.
No, we've got a kind of a 6-stage blueprint that we use that first of all starts with, you know, what exactly do you want? And we're not talking, you know, when you come and say to me, I want to lose a stone. If I say to you why, a lot of people sit there with a blank face, and it's normally because that's kind of what they've heard. You don't even know what you're going to look like when you've lost a stone. You don't know how your life's going to be any different. So when you start busting yourself, trying to go for a run, and you're feeling crap on the first few days, you're thinking, well, why am I doing this? You know, your mind can't connect to what losing a stone actually means.
You haven't got a goal.
Exactly. You've got a goal, but it's just not strong enough. We call it peeling the onion, in that they're saying to me, I want to lose weight and tone up. That's kind of the outside of the onion, but we'll work with people and get deeper and deeper to the middle of the onion, where we find there's some kind of emotional imbalance. Like maybe they were bullied at school, or we've had ladies saying, oh, my husband's always commenting on my size or what I'm eating. Yeah. So that's where we've got to get the mindset.
Do I look good in this? No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they think it's funny, and actually, you know, it's really hurtful, and it programs your mind in a certain way that affects how you then go and act. I mean, I've said to people before, you get up in the morning, most people have a routine, you walk in the bathroom, you look in the mirror and go, oh, I look like a blowfish, you know. You then go downstairs, you eat the same cereal, you get in the same car, you go to the same job, you get in this kind of monotonous routine, and you convince yourself that's who you are. And so we need to figure out ways to change the mindset and say, actually, you're not that person. This is who you could be. Visualise it, use visualisation techniques, and then everything else becomes much easier, rather than making fat loss a battle, which a lot of people do.
Are most people unhappy with their body image then, and their body shape that you mean?
I think most people are. Obviously, we know the obvious things, like, you know, a lot of girls end up getting anorexic. A lot of ladies think they look worse than they actually do. And to be honest, it's more and more of a problem with guys as well. A lot of guys have now got the same sort of thing, but I'm not big enough, I'm not muscly enough. And we've almost come to a point where we're trying to define who we are by how we look, and it shouldn't be like that. If you can if you can define who you are as a person, what you want to achieve in your life, then you start seeing why you need to exercise and be healthy. We've got an awesome lady, Jane Kano, who works down at Lomo Surgery. She's 59, I think she lost about 5 or 6 stone, and she went from having never done any exercise. And what we did, we talked her through about body image, and we actually found that the reason she wanted to lose weight was because she wanted to spend more time with her grandkids and help them grow up, and she ended up climbing a mountain with her husband. That's who she was, and by focusing on those things, the physique just changed.
So her body image was stopping her spending time with her grandchildren as much as she wanted?
It wasn't stopping her spending time with them, but it meant, if you want to run around the park a little bit and keep up with them, you last 5 minutes and then you're sort of blown out your backside, for want of a better phrase, and and then you can't...
A bit tired.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of keeping up and being part of their lives as they grow up. Again, the last 30 seconds to a minute, we haven't talked about losing a stone or why that's important. We're focusing on the bigger picture of what you want in your life and how weight loss actually fits into that. So it's almost a means to an end, rather than the obsession a lot of people get with, that's who I am. I'm not a good person until I've lost 3 stone, or my life's going to be complete when I've lost 3 stone. And in fact, even if they do lose the weight, they're suddenly then kind of looking around, well, what do I do now?
Well, they're the same person, but just 3 stone lighter.
Exactly. So they've still got the same stresses, they've still got the same problems, they still see the same issues in life, but great, they're a little bit lighter. But then if you've still got the same stresses, you end up going back full circle, eating the foods that used to comfort you, and you're back where you started. And that's the whole yo-yo diet thing. So you
focus very much on the psychology of exercise and the psychology of what makes us tick.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, when I qualified, it was, and most trainers do this, you think, I'm going to learn that one exercise program that's going to change the world. And then you stood there thinking, well, it worked for that guy, but it didn't work for that guy. It's the same program. Why? Well, funnily enough, the second guy is still drinking 2 litres of Coke a day and eating bad food. So then we say to the guy, well, look, you've got to stick to your nutrition. You give him the plan and you wonder why he can't stick to it, but the first guy could. Again, it's the mindset. The mindset controls everything. So if we can get that in the right place, like I say, everything else, I wouldn't say it becomes easy, but it becomes a lot more simple in that you can see the path and you just got to take those steps.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, let's bring in John as well. Is it? John, if you want to put your headphones on, you can hear caller John. John, morning.
Hello there.
Hello. John, meet John. You have a question for John?
No, I don't have a question for John. I actually do one of John's classes.
Oh, do you? Right, okay.
On a Monday, Wednesday and Friday.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to say that he does know stuff. When I saw his van going around, sort of like beginning of last year, I gave him a ring and he gave me all the bump and everything. I thought, what another idiot he's trying to promote something that he can't, provide.
Yeah.
So I turned up. I went there and I was, obviously, because when you go to the gym, you go there and you're very, you know that people are looking at you and thinking, what a fatty and that kind of thing.
Was that the position you were in then? Have you lost lots of weight?
I have, yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when I got there, I met people who were exactly the same as me. No one looked at me as if to say, he's doing less than me or he's fatter than me. There's people there that are skinny that are there for fitness, and there's people that are, quite chunky there to lose weight, and everyone joins in. It's like a big family, really. Everyone pushes each other on. When we get home in the evenings, we're all chatting on Facebook about how the session went, and what could have been better, or what was what we enjoyed, or where we're aching.
What about this psychology of body image? Do you relate to what John was saying there?
I'm the kind of person that if people take me how they find me, if they don't like the way I am, then they don't have to speak to me.
Yeah. But you wanted to lose weight.
A lot more oh yeah, definitely. I do feel a lot more confident in myself. I feel a lot healthier. People say to me, I'm actually a changed person for doing it. The confidence is there.
Why did you put this weight on then, or had you always been bigger?
Just drinking, and I was a member for a gym for about 2 years, and I paid every month to go. And you'd turn up there, and you'd sit there, and you'd probably just lift up a weight, and you think, I'll just go for a swim or so, and I'll do some more tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's how it was for a couple of years,
So you were well. At least you went along, though, I suppose.
I did, yeah. I made the effort to go, but the good thing is it's the motivation by John and his staff, and plus the people around you. People that are experiencing the same kind of embarrassment that you are, and it's just unbelievable. It's like a family.
Right, okay.
Jon's client kind of thing.
Right, marvellous. Well, listen, thanks very much for calling.
All right, thanks, Jon.
Okay, cheers.
See you later.
There we go. Well, he's impressed. So, 13th of October then, anybody can go along and just kind of sample what you have to offer and decide whether it's for them or not.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're not, it's horses for courses. Everybody has different needs, different wants, and I would be more than happy if we take people through the mindset and nutrition. We're going to actually put them through some of the exercise sessions so they can see how even just half an hour of the kind of stuff we do is more effective than 2 hours watching TV while you're on the exercise bike. And if people glean something from that, they get their mindset in the right place, they start eating better, and they decide, actually, I want to go and climb a mountain, and the fitness classes don't fit into that, then I'll be more than happy. Our objective is to seek and share knowledge as a business, and if it helps people get better that way, then we've done our job. It's not all about just we want the most clients and make lots of money. That's not all it's about.
Yeah, you don't want everybody to be skinny.
Exactly.
Okay, listen, pleasure talking to you. Jon Le Tocq, thanks for coming in, and we'll also hear more from you next week. You're with John Randall. There you go. That's a mountain to climb.
John's looking forward to it as well.
Is he? Good, good. Right, okay. Jon Le Tocq, thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you.